Right then, Luke. So before we start the mock test, I'm going to talk you through the marking sheet and how it's marked, and just a little bit of background about the driving test. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So the driving test will last, or as you know, you said to me earlier, didn't you, for about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
There'll be one manoeuvre and possibly an emergency stop. The manoeuvre's chosen at random, and the emergency stop, I believe statistically, is about 1 in every 3 driving tests, and it's going to depend on, you know, probably weather conditions and if there's a car behind you when they're in the area where they're intending to ask you to carry it out usually. So but you know, as with today on this mock test, I will tell you before. I won't just say stop, for example. You'll know what I'm going to ask you. So at the beginning of the driving test, you'll be asked 2 questions, one show me and one tell me question. Generally, I've given you a sheet, haven't I, to revise through for that?
I don't think so.
Have I not? So let me give you a sheet now. And you can take this away with you. Not give him one of those?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember it, if you did.
No worries. Well, plenty of time anyway to start reading through. There you go. You put that in the side or in your pocket or whatever. Well, they're chosen at random as well. There's lots of stuff to start looking through there. Okay. There'll be an independent driving section, and that'll last for around 10 minutes, and that's where you'll be expected to follow road signs, and possibly like a pre-laminated sort of direction on a piece of card. Really, it might be, you know, saying tell you to take the second exit at the roundabout, and then the right turn after that, and then it might go into road signs. We've done some following road signs, haven't we, for that? Yeah. And so you're feeling okay with that side of it?
Yeah.
Okay. The marking then, there's, as you can see from the box there, you've got like a long rectangular box, and then there's an S and a D column next to it. The serious fault is going to be an immediate fail if you pick up a serious, and so is the dangerous, so S and D. So a serious fault, as far as I'm aware, is if you pose you know, an amount of risk to somebody else. Let's say you cause somebody to change their speed or their direction, which, you know, is never a good thing and could cause an accident. So along those lines, which you're not doing, which is why we're doing a mock test. You know, just see if there is any things that we've missed going through it. A D, dangerous fault, is going to be if the examiner has to grab the steering wheel, press the pedals, or intervene verbally, so telling you to stop or whatever like that. Or me, in the case of today on your mock test. And that shouldn't be happening on your driving test, should it really? So
Hope not.
No. Alright, so one manoeuvre, possibly an emergency stop, independent driving. Now let's talk about some of the faults. It's all stuff we've gone through. This is all your control down here, so accelerator, clutch, gears, foot brake, handbrake, steering, moving off, so there's safety and control in there. So safety, have you checked around before you've moved off? Have you remembered the all-important blind spot check? Oh, and the other thing, was the blind spot check in date, or was it checked 3 seconds ago and then you've moved off? It's no good like that, is it? So it has to be fresh. Control, you know, so if it was a hill start, have you found the bite, or did it roll backwards a little bit? Use of mirrors, so obviously checking before we signal, before we change direction, before we change speed. Was the signal necessary? Was it correct? Was it timed correct? It's all stuff that we've gone through really. I won't go through it all, but if I could give you a top tip, you see the following distance one. Make your driving, I mean it generally is, but remember to keep it, making it easy for yourself by keeping a good gap in between you and another vehicle. You're not going to have to do half as much then.
Not right behind someone.
Exactly. Alright, You're allowed 15 driver faults, driver errors, minors. People call them all sorts of stuff. But let's say that I don't know, you've changed speed and you forgot to check your centre mirror. Why do we check centre mirror?
To see if there's anyone behind.
And what do we do sooner if somebody's close?
Give them some sort of signal to let you know that you're going to be doing that.
Exactly, give them more time to react, yeah? Good, so let's just say you forgot to check that, but there's nothing behind it, didn't pose serious risk. You might just pick up a mark in the, where is it? Change your speed. So you should have checked your mirrors before you change speed. You might pick up a mark there, for example. But you're allowed 15 of these driver faults.
Right.
If you get 16, it's gonna then result in a serious fault, so it'll be a fail. But 15's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't be. If you're going for a driving test, really, you shouldn't be getting anywhere near that, to be honest. And you won't. You won't. So that is about it, really, Luke. Is there any questions on the marking sheet or anything like that?
What's this last bit, or does
The spare, so the spare 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, I believe that these are kept spare in case there's any more
different bits they need to
add in
to keep a lookout for? Right. Okay.
Well, no, I think if, let's say, they think of something that needs a name for a fault or whatever like that, it saves them redesigning the whole sheet, from what I'm told.
Yeah, they can just like put it in.
You can just add it in that box there and issue it on the examiner's marking sheets. At the end of the test, you'll head back to the test centre. This marking sheet will be completed. The faults will be totalled up, and it'll either be a pass or a fail in the box down there. And then there'll be a debrief at the end.
Right.
So hopefully I'll be present for the debrief to hear the good news.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah, and that's it really. You'll be issued with your pass certificate. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Luke. So we're going to start the driving test shortly. What the best thing to remember is to follow the road ahead at all times, unless road or traffic signs direct you otherwise. Okay.
Right.
So I'll give you directions in good time. If you're unsure, I can help you with direction. I can't help you with decision making, so you just need to do what you'd usually do. All right. But do ask me if you forget the direction.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. Okay, you won't fail for it.
Right.
Okay, Luke. Drive on when you're ready. We're going to do a quick U-turn, and we will turn right at the roundabout behind us, second exit. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Gone the wrong way there, Luke.
Oh yeah.
Are you all right with that now then?
Yeah.
Yeah, no probs.
It's just unsure.
No problem. As long as you get us there safely in the end, that's fine.
I just pull back around again.
Okay, so this will be the start of your independent driving now. It'll last around 10 minutes. I'd like you to remember these directions and follow them if you can. We've got 3 roundabouts coming up. Alright, so if you can go straight on second exit at the first 2, and at the 3rd roundabout turn right, 3rd exit. Do you want me to repeat that?
Second exit for the first 2.
Yeah.
And 3rd exit for the last one.
Yeah. Okay, drive on when you're ready.
There's no turns in between them, aren't there? It's just follow this road.
Just keep following it till you reach the roundabout, yeah?
Yeah.
least for the purposes of this, get within a car's length behind the blue car. Okay. And drive on when you're ready. Take the next road on the left. When you reach the end of the road, turn left. So what we're going to do now then is the left reverse. I'm going to use the side rail just in front. So what I'd like you to do is move off when it's safe and pull up just past and position yourself ready to reverse into the junction. Alright, try and avoid touching the curbs. Drive on when you're ready. Thanks Luke, that'll be fine, thanks. Yeah. Do you want to reset your door mirror as well?
Yeah.
Okay, drive on when you're ready and turn left at the end of this road. Just after this side road, please. Okay, what we're going to do now then is the emergency stop exercise. So I'd like you to stop promptly when I give the signal. I'm going to raise my hand like this and I'm going to say stop. Okay, I'm going to check my mirror to make sure it's safe first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that okay with that instruction? Drive on when you're ready. lay-by just behind or between the two cars, if you don't mind. Thank you, that's the end of the test. Turn off the engine and relax. So I'll just complete this paperwork, see what result we've got, and we'll start with the debrief. Okay, Luke, I'm sorry to say it's a fail on this occasion. Alright, there's 3 serious faults. There's one for the emergency stop. Are you aware of what might have gone or was missing on that emergency stop?
I ended up stalling, so I don't think I put my clutch down in time to stop it from doing that.
Correct, you did put it down but not quite in time.
Yeah.
So, but it's not the end of the world if you stall. What I'm looking for there is to respond quickly and stop the car reasonably quick, and you did do.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world getting that down. What you missed was your right blind spot check.
Yeah.
Alright, why do you need to check your blind spots, Luke?
Just see if there's anything that's like right there that I don't know, might be coming around or...
It's not going to be a zone that's shown in your mirrors, is it, either?
Yeah.
So you've got to check that before you move off. I know the adrenaline probably kicks in a little bit with the emergency stop, but
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, I'm pleased you got your handbrake on as soon as you stopped, and you know, you got it into first. You moved off without too much fuss, but yeah. We need that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'll just circle that so we remembered that we've spoken about it. The other 2 serious faults was an accumulation of faults.
Yeah.
So you've got 4 faults for changing direction, and that's ended up as a serious fault there. So we've got a couple coming off roundabouts.
Yeah.
So the observation being a little bit late. Why do you need to check your mirrors, particularly left sometimes, when steering off roundabouts?
Just to see if, like, you know, anything's coming up on your left that might be taking the same exit as you.
Yeah, things could creep in on the side of you as well. All the layouts are a little bit different on roundabouts. Some I'd advise you to even have a blind spot check. You know, it depends on if cars can keep travelling and there's much space on your left.
Yeah.
What's crucial is that you check that mirror or that direction or both before you actually steer in the direction.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a couple for blind spot checking.
Yeah.
Changing lanes without blind spot checking, or checking after it's too late.
Yeah.
Like you've already almost landed in the next lane and then you've checked. What's the danger in checking that late, Luke?
If there's something there, you're either gonna go into them or you're gonna have to swerve back.
It's too late, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just as we're finishing up there, you know, there was an occasion there where we changed lanes. You did a lane change straight after that and remembered it.
Yeah.
So you've just got to remember your structure and your routine, really, to you know, best way to keep you alive. All right. So yeah, so there's that one sorted. Changing speed. So I felt there was quite a few occasions where we was coming up to roundabouts or slow moving, I think it was traffic lights, and not checking the mirrors.
Yeah.
Particularly centre before you change speed. Now you told me at the beginning of the test and when I picked you up today why that's important.
Yeah.
So if you don't check the mirror, what won't you know?
If there's anyone there or how close they are.
And what won't you be able to do?
Notify them of what you're going to do.
And if you notify them sooner, what's less likely?
Them to slam into the back of you.
Good man. So remember that one. Yeah. Again, your routine. As soon as you identify the hazard is anything that's going to cause you to change speed or direction. how is our change in speed and direction going to affect others? Let's see who's behind for a start, eh? And at the side, you know, if it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Is that alright? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Signals necessary. We had one at the first roundabout.
Yeah.
The first roundabout that we exited, no, second actually. Second roundabout, I think there was a blue car in front of us. There was no signal there to exit, we could pop the lights on. Just pop the ignition on for us, Luke, if you don't mind. Cheers. Just light it up a bit.
Yeah.
Why do we need to signal when exiting roundabouts? What's the main function of it? What's the idea of a roundabout?
It used to help join up different roads and that.
Would you say it's to keep traffic flowing as well?
Yeah.
So if you don't signal in good time, what might you cause a car to do on the other side?
Well, they might think that you just, like on that other side of that exit. So.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
Say you're coming off here, like here, and then there's a car coming towards you from here.
And I'm waiting to pull off there.
It wants to go, doesn't it? What might you cause it to do?
Well, if you don't signal, it's not going to know that you're pulling off there, so it's just going to sit there and wait for you.
You're going to cause it to slow down, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ultimately stop. Alright, so don't forget again your routine, mirror signal manoeuvre to exit.
Yep.
In actual right, no, I said serious fault for change in direction, it wasn't. The serious fault was change in speed. It's here or there really, I suppose, but there's 4 for change in speed.
Yeah.
Alright, there's only 3 for change in direction. I think 2 of them are blind spots, and the other one was coming off a roundabout.
Yeah.
In actual fact, yeah. So only 1 for coming off a roundabout. 2 blind spot missing. The other, a few others was a bit borderline, I've got to tell you. You know, there wasn't as early as they could have been, but it was just about okay. You know, you'd probably seen just before you hit something at the side of you, for example.
Yeah.
Alright. Position normal stops. Now, when we're coming up to roundabouts, do you remember what distance we should be, as a reference, we should be keeping between us and other cars?
Tyre tarmac.
Tyres and tarmac. What's the reason for that?
It's just so it's to like give you time to prepare, and if you need to do something whilst you're waiting, like if there's an emergency vehicle or something that's coming up, then you've got enough space to, like, you know, pull over a bit and then let them pass.
You can actually steer, can't you, out the way?
Yeah.
What about on hills? If you've got a good gap in between you, what's the benefit?
Or if they
It's an incline.
if the one in front of you doesn't get their bite straight away, they're not going to slide back right into you.
So you've got a bit of room for error there, haven't you, if you've got tyres and tarmac gap.
Yeah.
Now, when you was coming up to your roundabout, she was getting closer and closer and closer. And what I found on the driving test, I didn't mark it down because I marked it as your stopping positions. You was just getting far too close to the car in front.
Yeah.
This is where accidents happen a lot at roundabouts. People leave minimal space and then they start looking to their right. Keyword, looking.
Yeah.
And they'll just look for far too long and then smash. Oh, they've hit the car in front because they've been staring for too long. So you need to be, your observations are good, don't get me wrong, but you need to safeguard yourself. You need to give yourself that room for error.
Yeah.
Alright. And if a pause does become a wait, use the handbrake.
Yeah.
Keep yourself still. Just holding yourself at the holding point, and the holding point was becoming, the tyres moving, it was getting closer and closer, and the car in front was actually still stationary.
Yeah.
Okay. Position normal stop. So as well, I've marked you. There was when I asked you to pull over a couple of times. We've parked in a position where we almost look like we're driving.
Yeah.
You've got nowhere near the
Bit
curb.
too far to the right.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, on a couple of them.
Yeah. Now you did it when we did the left reverse, but to be fair, you're not parking there, are you? You're getting yourself ready for a manoeuvre, and the idea of the left reverse is to turn the car around. It's not a parking exercise.
Yeah.
So to be fair, you're positioning there ready for your manoeuvre. So that's, you know, but then ask you to pull over for the emergency stop, and you know, it's really far away. So do be checking the left door mirror as well as the forward a couple of times as you're steering in, and you'll see where you are then.
Yeah.
Okay. Just don't want to confuse anybody with our positioning. You didn't obstruct anything coming past on the right though.
Yeah.
So you know it's not serious. There's one for planning and awareness. I'm struggling to remember what it is, to be honest with you, Luke. Planning and awareness.
Might have been when there was. I forget what it was. It was the. Because there was that big truck thing, wasn't there? I think it was just around the corner.
Oh. For that, yeah. No,
Yeah.
It wasn't for that. You sort of dealt with that, to be fair. I'll tell you what it was. You know when we come onto that road where you turn right at that spiral roundabout with a bridge over the top?
Oh, yeah.
As you was going down, you just stayed in the right-hand lane all the way down.
Yeah.
Now, you did think to move in the left, but it was too late. There was a car on the inside. Luckily, it didn't undertake. If it had undertaken, you know, I might have to consider giving a serious fault there, because
Yeah.
you've caused a car to undertake and you should have moved back over. Now, you're fine to exit in the right, don't get me wrong, but you've got to be thinking about that bit sooner before you cause something to develop. There was one mirror check that I thought was absolutely crucial, and it was, you know, when we did get to the merge at the end of that same road, Harvey Road it was.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
There was a black car that actually let us go.
Yeah.
But as you were steering in, you was just looking straight forwards. Now, that car didn't leave any room. As we were steering in, it was right close to us.
Yeah.
So if you're changing direction in the road and you know there's a car on the inside, don't just trust the fact that they're going to give you all the room in the world. They might think that you're going to move off much faster than you are.
Yeah.
They're not going to really think, oh, Luke's on his driving lesson, I'll give him extra space. You know, he's not going to do that. So
Yeah.
you needed to just at least check that just once during moving in. I know you did before, but the moving in took some time. So if it's taking time, things could be changing.
Keep on it.
Yeah, that's it. I've made a few. So altogether, Luke, there's 14 faults, but there's 3 serious. So you could say 2 of them are an accumulation.
Yeah.
So you could say you got 12. The emergency stop fault was a straight serious. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I've made a few additional notes for you. The slip road I felt that you should have used more of, and you should have had a higher speed. You know, when we followed for Stoke A50,
Yeah.
you should have been, you know, you was coming into the too early there.
It's got a lot of slip road for a reason.
Yeah, get your speed up. Yeah. Don't be too hung up on the right and checking blind spot really early. Look forwards and be checking these mirrors, centre right, because you can keep your eyes forward and you'll be just flickering your eyes between the two. Blind spot's just the last thing you do before you just do any steering.
Yeah.
All right, so make more use of that, more speed as well. If there'd have been lorries there, I think you entered about 45, 50. You'd have caused lorries to slow down.
Yeah.
For example.
Not the best.
Not the best, no, because then the lorry's probably going to have to change lanes. That's going to cause a bigger ripple effect behind us, you know.
Yeah.
So as I said, utilise slip roads. When you did the left reverse exercise, you was quite late in checking the right shoulder.
Yeah.
It was just okay, to be fair. You know, it's close to a serious fault, that. So why is it important that we check the right shoulder? So when the front end of the car swinging out ready to go in the side road, why is that important?
If there's a car there, you might, and they're too close, you might swing around and hit them.
Yeah, it was unlikely that a car was probably going to usually unlikely a car was going to overtake there, because we had part of traffic on the right as well.
Yeah.
What might we not hear that might try and slip through the middle? That hasn't got an engine.
Like a bike or
There you go.
something.
Yeah, a bike. So you need to be checking that shoulder before you swing out, and probably, you know, depending on how long you're swinging, how long it takes, maybe a series of checks.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it was reasonable. There was a car coming towards us. I felt that you'd seen it. There was no need to stop because the car couldn't get past. So I felt like you used common sense there. I don't know whether it was intentional or what. You know, not usually we'd say we'd pause and establish what's going on before we continue. But it just did the right. It just seemed reasonable, really. So that's it, really, Luke. Is there anything that doesn't make sense there, or anything that you feel that you can't put right going forwards? Because you've given me all the right answers to everything I've asked you.
I think it just needs a bit more practice of nailing it in, just to make sure that it's definitely in my head and that I remember what has to be done.
As remedial now, we can go away and work on these specific points, can't we?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of the mock test.
You find out what you're definitely not that good at, and then
In a test environment.
yeah.
Was it what you expected?
I didn't think I'd pass it first time.
No.
I mean, if it wasn't for the serious parts that I just forgot a bit about, I don't think it was as bad as I thought, but obviously it's not the best.
It's going to be better next time, isn't it?
Should be.
It's just going to make you, you're driving even stronger. This is so. We'll go away and work on this, and then we'll do another mock.
Yeah.
Maybe not next week, week after, for example. So that sound alright? Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well done, anyway. There's your mock sheet. Take that away.
Yeah.
Have a look over it and bring it to next session, because that's going to be our recap at the beginning of next time. Yeah.
Right.
Good stuff.